Now to the Trump presidency, and a lot to talk about following last night's State of the Union speech.
Jim DeFede, host of Facing South Florida, joining us now. Jim, nice to see you. So who was the president speaking to last night? Was he rallying his base, or was he making overtures towards Democrats?
I think this was a base speech. I really do. I think in a lot of ways the media was played, because we heard a lot of talk about how this was going to be an attempt at trying to suggest commonality and bipartisanship and a reset button. But if you really read this speech, and I've read through it now and I've watched it a second time, there was very little specifics. Yes, he wants to cure cancer for children, and he wants to do good things when it comes to the AIDS crisis. But really, the meat of this speech was about immigration, about the fear coming once again from Mexico, those caravans. It was about abortion. This was a speech that was designed to kick off his 2020 campaign.
He also took a shot at Democrats for launching what he called partisan investigations. Was he making a threat?
He was. As a matter of fact, I think we have that sound, and if we do, let's go ahead and play some of that.
If there is going to be peace and legislation, there cannot be war and investigation. It just doesn't work that way.
Well, in reality, that is the way it works. I mean, Congress is supposed to provide oversight function, and what you saw today in response was the three Democratic chairs of the committees that are going to play a key role going forward, Intelligence, Judiciary, and House Oversight, all came out and said the president doesn't understand what the role of Congress is. He's had 2 years where he's had a Republican House and a Republican Senate. Democrats are going to do their job and hold the president accountable. That was a threat that the president made. What the president said was, if you do not, if you continue to investigate me, I'm going to blame you for anything that bad happens in the economy. I'm going to blame you for anything bad that happens in terms of any security concerns around the world. I'm going to put the blame on you if you do your jobs trying to provide a check and balance against me.
Didn't really bring up the shutdown at all. What was not in his speech that was surprising?
I think that was the biggest thing that surprised me, was that there was no mention of the shutdown whatsoever. I get it. 35 days, you wanted to move past it from there. But maybe some acknowledgement of the 800,000 federal employees and their families who had to go through that. I think something would have been appropriate. Also, there was no discussion. You have to remember that since the last day of the Union, Parkland happened. Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, the shooting there. No discussion about school safety programs, or, forget about, gun control and trying to walk into that. Just other issues that he could have addressed along with trying to make our children, keep our children safe in schools and the rest of it. I was surprised that that wasn't in the speech.
Well, the Democrats have introduced a gun control bill. We're going to have a story on that coming up at 6 o'clock.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, Jim, thanks a lot.